Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is October the 24th, 2018. Strong hand. Long-term thinking, unconfiscatable, personal responsibility is the new counterculture. Offended by selling. You better believe I'm offended by selling. All right, check out disruptmeister.com for all my old shows, techbalt.com for all the old This Week in Bitcoin. Follow me at techbalt, TECHBALT on Twitter. And of course, on December 3rd and 4th, I'm speaking at the digitalcurrencycon.com down in New Orleans. December 3rd and 4th. Discount code Meister. Click on that link below to buy the tickets down there. It's explained. Always check out the links below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked to below. So let's talk about an email that I got from Gemini. Yeah, again, I've mentioned this before, even though I have nothing at Gemini. Gemini sends me emails. Thank you, Gemini. Gemini Dollar is now supported by 25 exchanges. That was in the email. And they also have a blog that I linked to below, and I will quote from. As an ERC20 token, the Gemini Dollar can essentially be added to any exchange wallet or decentralized application. All right, yes. So October 23rd, 2018 was peak stablecoin day, I guess. So they had to send out their stablecoin information yesterday, or was it today? Who knows? So good for them. They have a stablecoin. But there's more. Oh, there is more. Let's get this tweet from Jeet out of the way. And he said, and this is about the Coinbase stablecoin, but it all ties in there, all you stablecoin freaks. Coinbase is establishing themselves as a trusted third party. In exchange for non-action from government regulators, they will seed the decentralized financial system with gates, locks, and doors to exclude users based on jurisdiction and who knows what other insane criteria next. So yeah, and this could probably be applied to Gemini also. Gemini, Coinbase, they play by all the rules. The government lets them have their stable coins. And in return, they will, if the government says, hey, shut this person down, well, the stable coin is centralized. They can shut them down. They can revoke the stable coin. Who knows what they can do? They get you hooked on their stable coin. You're more under their power, okay? You're giving up your sovereignty to them, okay? You're not controlling your own private key. You're relying on them. Oh yeah, I jumped out of Bitcoin and now I'm in their stable coin. I'm in dollars. Oh, no, you're not. There's a big difference between that dollar in your pocket and that stable coin dollar. It's going to be at Gemini and Coinbase because they can just turn it off or shut you down. Hey, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. If you want to opt into that system, that's your thing, dude. That is your thing. But you're definitely getting into a centralized system there, and I'm sure it'll be very convenient for you. And hey, they'll be doing the government. It's a KYC coin. It is a total KYC coin. So when you wonder, like, well, why does Coinbase and Gemini, they seem to be progressing so fast, faster than other companies? Well, they're letting the government have a KYC coin. And this is all out in the open. There's nothing secretive or conspiratorial about this. You're opting into it, though, if you want to be a trader and do all that fun stuff. So here is another tweet out there. And this is from a guy, Econoir. And again, this is all linked to below, of course. Just so everyone is aware, there is a backdoor in the US dollar coin, stable coin launched by Coinbase today, which allows the address to be blacklisted and funds frozen. Okay, that's what I just said. So yes, the dollar in your pocket, it's not the same thing. You think this Coinbase stable coin, oh, it's just like a dollar in the back of my pocket. No, the dollar that's sitting in your pocket, that can't be blacklisted, okay? And it can't be frozen. You got it in the back of your pocket there, okay? The best thing to remember when comparing types of wealth to stable coins is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is my stable coin. I've said that before. Matt Odell has said that before. It's unconfiscatable. It's not some KYC coin. It isn't It isn't some centralized token of some sort that's an ERC sitting on Ethereum or whatever that makes it sound all fancy and whatnot. You know, it's just good old simple, unconfiscatable Bitcoin. Pound that freaking like button. Okay, another tweet by Arjun, and this is just this ties in this stablecoin phenomena with a meme going on over Twitter and I guess social media. And some of you might not be familiar with this. I guess I'll try to explain it afterwards. The explosion of fiat-backed stablecoins with the crescendo of the NPC meme isn't a coincidence. Only NPCs think a tightly controlled, regulated digital dollar is exciting. Stablecoins are the non-player coins as incumbents fight for relevancy. So there's this non-player character in video games. Apparently, it's just a gray face. It's an unimportant. When you play video games, apparently there's some characters. They're nothing. They just say mindless things. When you play Super Mario Bros. Everything good. There's things in the background that are just mindless. They might say something, whatever. Again, I am no video game expert, but on Twitter, certain people have been making fun of certain politicians, certain sayings that are totally mindless. So they non-player character their faces. They just give them this gray face, this mindless face, because so much of the stuff that's out there on social media is just repetitive, mindless stuff that everybody repeats. It's the same boring face repeating it over, but everybody buys it. And so this coin is it's the equivalent of that. You know, check out that tweet by Arjun. He puts it better than I do. And yeah, I guess Google the NPC phenomena on social media. Also, this non-player character meme thing that's going around. And I actually just learned about it the other day because I'm not a video game player myself. So I was thinking today about the future, about in the future, in the year 2033, when some kid is sitting in a history of Bitcoin class, and a student is going to ask the teacher, and the teacher, and again, let's just pretend they're going to be college courses still in 2033. I mean, there'll probably be something like that. There'll be some interactive. Maybe it'll be online. Maybe you'll still go to Harvard and Yale and wherever, University of Pennsylvania and everything. So here we go. The future kid is sitting there, and he asks the teacher. He's like, "So you're saying that people knew the institutions were going to buy into crypto and Bitcoin, and that this information was out there in the open and obvious for a few years, and yet many still did not consider buying. That this can't be true, Professor Meister. This can't be true." And the future person, the future professor, whether he be named Meister or whatever. Now there'll be no Meister relative that'll be a professor. I cannot envision that at that time. But anyway, that the future person will say, "Oh, it's all true. More people were interested in TV and free things and cars and politics, and they were doomers, obsessed with scapegoating, and they liked videos like the silent financial takeover by the elites." Ron Kirby made that video, actually. And by the way, how long is this guy, Ron Kirby, and the people like him have been saying the silent financial takeover by the elites, where you're supposed to just sit there paralyzed and wait for this silent takeover by the... No, you don't just sit there. You take control of your own life, and you don't end up a silly statistic that people talk about in the year 2033, that they laugh about. Like, well, there are people who are watching these crazy doom videos and worrying about what might be when anyone in their right mind was hearing that all these institutions were going to buy into it, were going to buy into Bitcoin, and they were just sitting there doing nothing, just watching Ron Kirby and the gang worry about the elites, blame the elites for all their and just imagine yourself in the year 2033 looking back on this time period where, again, it hasn't just been months that we've been talking about these big institutions are going to eventually buy, the Bitcoin. How long we've been talking about the Bitcoin ATM? How long we've been talking about these things? And it hasn't happened yet. No, it is going to happen, though. And one day people are going to look back on it and they're not going to be able to believe that people knew it was coming for so long, and yet they did nothing. They didn't buy Bitcoin. They just complained, and ended up a silly little statistic in 2033 for all the students to laugh at. Say, oh, people were watching TV. People were what were they doing with their time when all this was out in the open and they could have been buying Bitcoin? And so think, just again, that's something to strengthen your hand. Think, be a long-term thinker. Think about what people are going to be saying in the year 2033, and think about what people are saying right now, what you know is about to happen, whether about be next month or be in a year. It's about to happen. Okay, Hoffman Line strong. Intergenerational wisdom, people, from these financial dudes like Andy Hoffman who have been in other industries before. There are more and more people waking up to the peculiarity that Bitcoin, if you value your wealth in fiat, if you notice these type of things, that the total market cap of Bitcoin does not go below $100,000, as if there's something out there or a group of people out there or like-minded individuals who have been in the financial industry who think it's a really good value to accumulate once it gets close to that Hoffman line. Once the Bitcoin, there's support there, there's click. Now again, it could all fall through the floor. I don't give a darn if it does or not, because I value my wealth in Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals, I saw as much Bitcoin as the next person. But it is very interesting. And it's something to consider. To consider someone who's from a different industry who's been talking about this for almost a year now, I guess, about this $100,000 valuation. You know, over a year, when it went over $100 billion. When it went over $100 billion market cap. If I messed it up before, it's $100 billion. When it went over $100 billion market cap, Andy Hoffman was saying this makes it kosher in the minds of the people who have been in finance, in the mind of institutions, that it's a real legitimate asset class now. It's a real legitimate asset when it gets over 100 billion. And if you think that line of thinking there, you can see that people who think that way, they started buying it then because they knew in the future, they are long-term thinkers. They don't care if it's 6,000 or 7,000 now or whatever. They care that, what it's going to be in the future. If it's already a legitimate, for them, they have this psychological idea that once something gets to $100 billion valuation, then it's real, okay? This is what the theory is. And from that moment on, if it's real, then it's the sky is the limit. The future is bright. So keep on buying in at that level and above that level. And they'll care in the future when it's worth $100,000 or $200,000, because again, they value their wealth in dollars and stuff. Of course, these people do. But this Hoffman Line thing is, again, it's something to consider, and other people are starting to say, well, this is curious. It hasn't gone below $100 billion market cap. Hey, it's curious. I say it's definitely a curious thing, and you could be curious about it now and say, well, maybe it'll go down to 4,000. I'll just get all my Bitcoin that I sold yesterday then. I'll get it. You could take that approach, or you can realize what I was talking about before, what the people in 2033 are going to be saying. They're going to be saying, again, for years, they were talking about how tremendous institutions were about to financialize this, make the financialization was being brought on by these tremendous institutions, which were about to make tremendous buy-ins, which are setting up their custodial accounts right now, that everyone was warned, and yet there were people concerned about it being either 5,800 or 5,900 or 4,000. It's going to be laughed upon. It's going to be laughed in the future. All right, so let's talk about Bcash competing with Dash. I'm just thinking about this recently because of Lorian. I saw my friend Lorian Gamaroff in South Africa was tweeting about his wallet he has, the CentB wallet, and how his vision for Bcash is all these people are going to be transacting in Bcash, buying things with Bcash, and apparently he got people to buy stuff with Bcash. I think it was in England. I linked to it below. The CentB Twitter feed, actually, that you should check out. But then I was like, this is direct competition with Dash. And I had mentioned this in a long ago video. I mean, these two, but Dash has such an advantage. First of all, they've been sending, I mean, like them or hate them, they've been spending money on marketing. How they do that? Well, you can read about how they do that, okay? You can have arguments. They've been doing it. They've been going to South American countries, getting businesses to transacting it, okay? Giving it away to people to buy at the businesses and stuff. So Dash, like them or hate them, they are way ahead of Bcash on the Bcash path, on what Bcash says it is, that it's supposed to be something that people transact it with. You know, to get a coin to be something that people are going to use on a daily basis, you really got to have marketing. You really got to get up in your face. You got to go store to store and tell them, use this crypto. I'm setting this wallet up for you. And Dash has been doing that. Bcash was sent B, obviously, they're trying to do something like that. Now, what Bcash does have is it does have the name recognition. People are going to hear, well, what's this Dash? I've never heard of Dash before. And then some people are going to say Bcash. Well, I've heard of Bitcoin before, and of course they use that name when they talk to people about it. So you know, it's something interesting. And then today, when I've written down the notes for this idea. I'm on Twitter, and I see an article, and obviously this is a Dash propaganda article, totally. But nonetheless, it says Bcash community increasingly sees Dash as biggest competition. Okay, there you go. That's their opinion, and it's just coincidental that article came out right when I was about to talk about something like that. So something else that was in the news, and I found out about it from the Times of India. I read the Times of India version of this article. India's first Bitcoin ATM seized, co-founder held, and yeah, this is Uno Coin's Bitcoin ATM. Is seized, and their founder is held by the government. I mean, this is the Keystone Cops of governments here. I mean, it's outrageous, and it's clearly an overreaction. They don't want people getting around their banking system. Clearly, it calls more attention to the Bitcoin in India when this story. I mean, it's supposed to scare people, I assume. I don't even, you know. They've got a huge bureaucracy going over there. It's one of those things where the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. This wasn't well thought out on there, but it happened. So again, I think it just wakes up more people. It is newsworthy. But they seized it. They took the freaking thing away. You know, it was hurting people, I guess. Pound that freaking like button. I got an email from my Steemit buddy, and he said, it's for Patrick Ulrich is his name, Ulrich. I wanted to let you know about a new Steem dApp that will let you create Steemit posts from your traditional social media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, allowing you to earn Steem rewards just by posting on these sites. I figured it would be an easy way for you to share your YouTube videos to Steemit, or even share some tweets without taking the effort to make the Steemit post. Well, I thought this was interesting. So and again, I linked to his post, but as always, I can help you get set up for it. I'm available for you, but I wrote a pretty detailed post on it yesterday on Steemit. So yeah, I linked to his post below, but I thought, you know, this is actually interesting development, because if they make it so that you can just make a tweet and then that tweet automatically shows up as a Steemit post, well, that monetizes your tweet on Steemit immediately without you doing any extra work. It also fills up Steemit with more content. Now, some of you are going to say, well, that's a lot of tweets are completely useless. So Steemit's going to be filled with a bunch of tweets now? Maybe more YouTube videos, if people actually do this, but it's giving them more content. At the same time, it is giving you the possibility of monetizing things that you weren't monetizing before. And so what I mean by monetize is you're going to be able to earn their Steem cryptocurrency, which of course you should then turn into Bitcoin, baby. So it's a way for all you people saying, I can't afford Bitcoin. Well, if you're crying about it on Twitter, you can now set up this new application dApp with Steemit, and your tiers on Twitter can be transferred onto crypto and maybe onto Steemit, and maybe some people will upvote you. You'll get some steam, and you'll turn into Bitcoin, and it'll all be good. Be proactive, dudes, though, and don't cry. Don't cry. Just keep it positive. Stay in motion. Be in motion. Be in motion, because you're not in motion if you're crying. And yeah, this is an interesting development there. And I haven't had time to set it up yet. Again, this video right now is live on Steemit. I post every single one of my videos live on Steemit. Bitcoin Meister is my name at Steemit if you want to follow me over there. And again, why would you buy Steem when yet another way to earn it for free and turn it into Bitcoin, baby? All right, so this is from the Bitcoin.com site, which is obviously the Pravda of Bcash. It says Bcash organizations start preparing for the November hard fork as the day draws closer to the scheduled Bitcoin, the scheduled Bcash upgrade. Affiliated organizations are preparing for the hard fork. Data websites like CoinDance have added statistics for feature support, upgrade voting, and public opinion. I link to that below, to the data, to the article. It's November 15th. So if you are interested in that Bcash fork, those are some places where you can learn about it. Link to below. And again, speaking about Bcash, I think Lorian is going to be, I'm going to have Lorian on the This Week in Bitcoin show on Friday, if all goes well. He's in South Africa, so it could be a big time difference. We're aiming, I hope he can make it on at 11 a.m. USA time, New York time, which is a 5 p.m. Friday in Johannesburg. And I linked it, his SendB wallet Twitter below if you want to learn about what he's doing over there. I think we're going to have Francis from Montreal on the show on Friday also. I don't want to jinx it now, but I'm working on getting you some good. It's probably going to be at 11 a.m. Baltimore time, Montreal time, New York time. So Kevin Pham was trying to play devil's advocate with the stable coins, because yesterday was peak stablecoin day in the history of Earth, apparently. And he said, let me play devil's advocate. Stable coins potentially allow people in countries with hyperinflating currencies to protect wealth in a US dollar derivative. Tell me why I'm wrong. Well, that actually sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? Well, Jeet goes on to say, and I've been quoting Jeet's tweets a lot. He was on the This Week in Bitcoin show on Friday, so check that out, link to below. Aside from DAI, all the stable coins are designed for first world traders. Like all statists, they are designing their systems with locks and keys and doors to exclude people based on where their papers are from. Once your country has significant volume, they will cut off access. All right, so yeah, there's a reminder. No, this is not going to help the people from Venezuela and from various other countries, but they're not going to be allowed to play. They're not going to be allowed. They're not going to be know your customer approved. These are going to be highly. I mean, these exchanges play by the government rules. The United States, if a bunch of people from Venezuela start using it, the U.S. governments might say, "Oh no, someone's trying to get around sanctions," and even though it might be just regular people, they might fear it is a way for big time Venezuelan government officials to get around the sanctions, and they'll be like, no, you can't, don't shut out everyone from Venezuela from using the Coinbase stablecoin or the Gemini stablecoin. So no, it isn't. It's a totally KYC centrally controlled that will discriminate against who you are for whatever reason they decide, because it's their own private coin. It's their own. They can do what they want to do. That's what we're going to have to realize. You can vilify them for it for all you want. Just don't play their game. Don't play their game. And for what, and I'm sure Kevin will agree with this too. He says stablecoins potentially allow people in countries with hyperinflating currencies to protect wealth in a U.S. dollar derivative. He doesn't believe that. What Bitcoin allows people in countries with hyperinflating currencies to protect their wealth. Period. And I'm sure Kevin would agree with that. I'll leave you with that note. Pound that like button. And click on the squares at the end there. Bang that bell button to get updates when I go live. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. I will say hello to all you dudes that are in the chat right now. Bitcoin. See you later.